Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. I am Rameshri Jairam with the news. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight's newscast by telling you that President David Granger and Opposition Leader Dr. Bharat Jagdeo today held their first meeting since the no-confidence motion has passed.
Head of State President David Granger and Opposition Leader Bharat Jagdeo today met, and according to President Granger, two main issues were discussed: the functioning of the National Assembly and the functioning of the government. In an interview after the meeting, President Granger said neither of these two important institutions, the legislative branch and the executive branch, could be allowed to fail. This was the first meeting between the two sides following the vote of no confidence in the National Assembly.
The executive branch could be allowed to fail. Public services have to be delivered, public order has to be maintained, and therefore the two sides reached broad agreement on how these two institutions, the legislative branch and the executive branch, would continue to function.
The head of state said too that general and regional elections were also discussed.
As you know, the government has had legal recourse to the courts in order to determine the validity of the vote in the National Assembly on the 21st of December. This is quite legitimate, and there's no intention on the part of the government to derail the constitutional or legislative process. We have agreed that the two sides will continue to work together to engage GECOM to ensure that elections are held within the administrative capabilities of the Guyana Elections Commission.
We all have to abide by the results of that process. But we can make this an opportunity for all Guyana, or we can address it in the traditional manner, where we are at each other's throat over every issue. And I prefer the first of the two.
The president assured the public that the two sides are working to a solution which they will be satisfied with. The government's team included Prime Minister Moses Nagamoto, Minister of Legal Affairs Basil Williams, and AFC leader and Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman, and other senior ministers of the government. The opposition's team included former Attorney General Annie Nandalal, former Minister Irfan Ali, Opposition Chief Whip and former Minister Gail Teixeira, and other leading members of the PPP.
More news after the break.
Hey, looky there. Let me go techie boots.
Boots? No, mama, I ain't gonna get locked up thief in a big stinky 30-second hand boots. Plus, it gonna be more cheaper online. And don't get my favorite color, pink. Let me go on.
Online shopping. Cheaper, faster, better. Passback.
Caribbean rice, from the lush rice fields of Guyana, straight to your home. Caribbean rice, our people, our rice.
There has been a minor increase in criminal activities in Berbice recently. Here is more in this report.
Despite the statistics, Commander of B Division Paul Langevin is assuring Berbicians that they are working assiduously to ensure this issue is addressed, which will see a reduction in criminal activities in the region.
But it's not really nothing to be alarmed about. We're of the view that we can work on it to bring it down. We have adopted some new strategies to have persons in the areas affected to feel a little bit more comfortable. We have increased our patrols, and we will continue to work with members of the public to ensure that safety is assured to members of the public. That we are working very hard to ensure that persons are safe. I mean, It's difficult for me to wake up in the morning and hear that a robbery would have been committed and so on. That is not what I want to be happening here, and I would seriously ensure that robberies will go down in this division. We're working seriously on ensuring that, and it will happen.
The commander is calling on members of the public to work hand in hand with the police force to make the region a safer and better place.
We need their support, and anything that they can help us with as it relates to a person committing these criminal acts, we are open and they must come forward and give us that support.
A Barbese family is in search of their missing relative to fulfill their mother's last wish. Here is more in this report. It's been over a year since 54-year-old Andrew Romney, a carpenter of Rosalton, Corentyne, Barbese, has been missing. His sister, Joanne LaRose, during an interview with this newscast, stated that her brother left for the interior to work, and the family has not seen or heard from him since.
Hi, Andrew. This is Joanne, and your mother died, and we would like to bury her on Sunday. And no one knows the whereabouts about you. If you is seeing me, you could please come urgent. Oh, she was asking every day, like, Andrew ain't gonna come, I'm gonna die, I'm bury, and I ain't gonna see.
Shortly after he left home, his daughter received a strange phone call from an unknown number.
Saying that if your father is in the area when he coming back to town. And the daughter told him that how you get me number? And the person on the phone said, I get the number from a close friend, and they blocked the ID. So she said that if you have blocked your ID, don't call back this phone. And the person just cut off, and we didn't hear back nothing from him.
Miss LaRose also said the family is even more eager for him to return home because his mother, Hazel LaRose, died after being diagnosed with cancer. When asked if her brother ever stayed away from the family, Miss LaRose said once, and it was only a couple of months. Anyone with information is asked to contact the family on telephone number 676-1669.
That stress occurs fairly often in life, and that prolonged stress can have a negative effect on your physical and mental health. Meet Jack.
I was stressed, so I finally decided to tell my friend Mark about it. He shared with me the helpline numbers to seek counseling. I was hesitant because I never thought that I would be in a position to share my story about my mental health. I eventually called, and the counselors they put me onto were very friendly and professional. I went to his office, and over time, I learned how to cope and manage my stress. The service was professional and confidential. I would recommend it to anyone who might be facing their own problems.
You may be facing challenges that keeps you from enjoying the things you love, but that's okay. Help is available. Talk with a trusted counselor on the helpline 223-0001, 600-7896 or 623-4444.
A man's beer.
Let's say now the decomposed body of Dennis Abraham, called Chubby, who resided at Bushlot Village, was discovered in his home today. Members of the Mandir next door notified his relatives after smelling a strong odor emanating from the house. Raymond Abraham, a brother of the deceased, said he was last seen a week ago. Abraham's body was found lying in the kitchen area of the house. The police arrived on the scene and have launched an investigation.
And that has brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to visit our website www.rdproductiongy.com, Facebook or Instagram, Royston Drake's Production, for details in these and other stories. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of News in Depth. This is Ramesh Jairam saying good night.